Hello, and welcome to the MOR Cast, the intersectionality of motherhood and entrepreneurship. I am your host, Shon-tay. Ladies, have you ever found yourself speaking and you are the only one in the room? I'm not talking about when someone else was there and they just stepped out. I mean, you're talking to yourself. Do you ever do that? If you do, don't worry. It's very common. A 2021 WebMD report says 96% of adults say they do it internally, and 25% admitted to talking to themselves aloud. Today, I want to talk to you about talking to yourself. Let's get into it. As a teen, I had a habit of talking to myself. When I got home from school, I would often decompress by writing about my feelings or talking to myself aloud about my feelings. I was not in public, but usually in my room behind a closed door. After hearing me talk to myself a few times, a family member said it was not healthy and suggested that I might need to see a therapist. Although I felt fine and knew I was not struggling mentally, the fact that this family member kept saying that I was not okay and I needed help made me think that maybe they were right. And talking to myself was abnormal. It would not have mattered if it was only one time, but it happened several times, as if to convince me that their assessment was accurate. Ironically, at this time, one of my mentors was a psychiatrist. So I asked her if it was unhealthy and if I should be concerned. She asked me how often I did it. I told her. She asked me if I answered myself. I said no. She said it was not uncommon and I was fine as long as I didn't hear voices or answer myself. It was exactly what I thought. So I continued. And as time passed, I eventually stopped. I think it was a result of our nest emptying out, and I was one of 2 kids left, and I didn't have anyone to relate to. When I was in high school, my brother was still in grade school, so I resorted to bouncing things off of myself when I wasn't talking to friends. I share this because our words can change the course of our lives or others. This person's words were said so often that I pondered the possibility of mental illness. It made me so concerned that I felt I should ask my mentor. Their words moved from a statement to a suggestion to a declaration and into my thoughts. I began thinking something was wrong and I possibly needed help, all because of someone else's words. That's powerful. It all started with one statement from someone else and ended with me seriously considering it. Ladies, words matter and they are powerful. When words are spoken over us, we have two options. We can dismiss them or listen to them and entertain the possibility of those words being true. But if we do, those words, whether true or false, have the ability to govern our lives, to change our trajectory, and have us act according to the message that had been broadcast over us, if we allow it. We must be careful about what we allow in our atmosphere and what we say to ourselves. When I became a mom, I wrote an affirmation for my kids to recite in the car on the way to school. I felt it was very important to properly align them spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, because sometimes school and friendships can be a challenge for kids. Reinforcing who they are is just as important as being on time and being prepared to learn. I never let my kids speak words of negativity or defeat over themselves or their siblings when they had a challenging day. And if anyone else in their sphere spoke negatively about them and I was present, I was quick to correct it because I know from experience how powerful words are. While you were listening to this episode, you may have remembered times when unsavory words were spoken to or over you. Reverse those words today. Speak life over yourself. Talk to yourself with words of affirmation and do it often. I would say daily. It will set the course of your day and the direction for your life. How do you know what to speak? The best wordsmith I know is God, our Creator. He has given us 66 books to identify who He is, how much He loves us, who we are, and His promises to us. I would start there, because no one knows better than God Himself, and all the help, wisdom, and support we need can be found in Him. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the MOR Cast on Talk to Yourself. Ladies, what are you saying to yourself? Whether you're thinking it or saying it aloud, you are saying something. What is it? Is it words of affirmation that will build you up or words that will tear you down? I need you to speak words and think on words that build you up. Ladies, if you're having challenges, you don't need to hear any more negativity, but you need to hear words that build you up and instruct you on how you're going to come through those challenges. Find out what God, your Creator, has to say. Agree with it and speak that over your life by faith. If you enjoyed this episode of the MOR Cast, share it with a friend. Leave a comment here or chat with me on Twitter. Or, of course, you can become a supporter. Until next time. Need some encouragement? Tune in to Test and Testimonies Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Instagram. Test and Testimonies will have you on the edge of your seat as you witness women sharing their trials and their triumphs. Test and Testimonies Friday nights on Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Talk Like God. You won't be disappointed, but you will definitely be encouraged.